Welcome to Winnipeg. It is HMS Rodney Day again. Yes. Hey, this is the day that I was supposed to wear the Bismarck shirt. Sorry, Jeff. Should I reshoot this? I don't think I will. The reason being is that this is already the second take. I have already done what you just saw. And here's what happened. May as well tell you. Okay, this little remote here, it takes batteries. And it takes two AA batteries. I use rechargeable ones because it eats batteries pretty bad. But if you use rechargeables, it doesn't really matter. And I have about a dozen rechargeable AA batteries, and I've got them all numbered, and I use them in order, in pairs. And I keep them in pairs when I charge them too. So they're charging properly in case anybody's wondering. Okay, now, So where are we here? Okay, let's talk about the sunrise. We did have a nice sunrise this morning. Nothing spectacular, but nice. I'll put it at the end of today's episode. -16. It's warming up. It was -24, believe it or not, a few hours ago. So the sun has really warmed things up. That's good. Now, about half an hour ago, I was looking for my decals. I could not find them, and I was starting to panic because I knew I wouldn't throw them out. At least I thought I wouldn't, unless they accidentally were with something and got thrown out. But I found them; they were kind of sandwiched in between all the sleeves of sprue parts. Yeah, so I'm going to have to find a place for these. You know the old saying, a place for everything and everything in its place? Okay. Okay. Oh, no. Now I remember what I was trying to talk about. The batteries. And so anyway, I completely recorded the opening where I clunked the coffee down, and then I noticed in my screen here that the little record button hadn't gone on. I just assumed it had because I had pressed the record on the remote, but the batteries were dead. Okay, now I finished my thought. This is getting worse and worse. All right. We're going to have to paint today, and my plan is to work on the decals, and but of course, naturally, before we can put them on, we got to get these painted here, and see how it goes. I am going to try it. I know I had really bad luck there a couple of months ago when I was trying to work on something with a decal, and the decal just all shriveled up. I think I used the okay, we don't want the microcrystal clear. Now here's some old Solvaset. This goes back to the Titanic and Lusitania. I had pretty good luck using this on that. The numbers that go down the side of the bow, that's what I used it on. And this one here is Microset. I'm going to have to be really careful here with this particular decal stuff because it seems to be very easily dissolved. Okay, let's get our thoughts together here, get ourselves recomposed, get ourselves painted. Let's get at it. Now, it appears that only 4 of these things require decals. And, okay, so this one obviously takes this one here, number 17. the clock, for instance, is number 12. Here's number 12. Okay. But what concerns me is that some of these parts, like this one, for instance, in particular, I think maybe what I'll do is I'll put the macro lens on, and we'll move right in, and I'll show you what I think is going to be a real problem with this one. I'm going to try it anyway. If worse comes to worse, we can always, just scrap it. Okay, well, this one here, it doesn't require a decal, apparently. It doesn't show any, it's none of these here. And yeah, you can actually see it here on the drawn, but there's no decal indicated for it. So, I don't know what that is. I guess it was for something. Okay, we're gonna have to put some kind of little mounting sticks on the back of these so that I can hang on to them when I paint them, because I'm planning to brush paint them. So. Now, believe it or not, there is oatmeal in here. So I guess this is sort of my variation of low-calorie oatmeal muffins. Yeah, you can sort of see the oatmeal. Like this is oatmeal. There. Anyway. Not near as good as Arlene's. And they're getting kind of dried out, too. Now, I had forgotten that I had said I'll stick on the macro lens and show you what it is I'm talking about here. Oh, and Jeff, I hope you noticed in that last scene, I was wearing your Bismarck shirt. Okay. Now, you notice how the knobs protrude quite pronounced above the surface where the decal has to sink into, and my concern is that the decal is not going to shrink wrap itself down around all these places. Now don't go knocking it over. Okay, now I have to put sticks in the back of these things, and I think I made the mistake the last time I did that, in that what I had done was I used Tamiya extra thin, and so the stick would meld. Now on the clock here, I think I can probably use a self-locking tweezer here. Let me grab one and see if I can get it on. I'm pretty sure that will work on this. Okay, now we should be able to paint the front of that, all being well. And I don't want to put too much paint in these things, because there's a certain amount of, raised detail going on there. Okay, we got that one. Okay, as I mentioned, I had used the Tamiya extra thin, and the little sticks that I had used were too hard to break out of there. In fact, I was concerned that it might show right through to the other side, pull the plastic away. Now here's the plan. The reason I've got this apparatus rigged up is so that when I use in this case it's going to be the Instacure, I can drop it down in there, and then if I am holding it with my fingers, I am going to be slightly moving it around, and when you're moving it around, the Instacure is going to excuse me, crystallize, and then I'm going to move it and break it loose, and it's going to have to recrystallize. Whereas if I can drop it down like this, and it just stays there and it doesn't move, there's less of a chance of something going wrong. Maybe I should just stick the macro lens on here, and we'll take a nice close look. Maybe I can use the time lapse. Maybe I'll use the time lapse and put a drop of curing agent on it. Okay, I think I am basically ready here. Okay, that is the CA. I'll try and get in the center there, like that. Okay, now I'm taking one of Tennessee Jim's mini Q-tips that has the end cut off of it. And I'm just going to give it a little snifter of it, just enough to activate it here. Okay, now we'll just let the time lapse do its thing. I don't know how much time has passed here, but I was looking at the screen a few seconds ago, and it looks like it is cured. I guess the way to find out is to just very, very carefully here, just lift it up. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. I'm just going to go ahead now and do the other three pieces the same way. Now, I've been mounting all our little parts, or almost all of them, on what we might call painting sticks. And somebody had made the suggestion, how would it be if you had the hatch in the open position? If I can pick it up. Okay. I suppose I could have tried to do that with my fingers, couldn't I? Now, what are we going to block? Okay. Okay, this hatch here is this hatch. If the hatch was in the open position on the bulkhead, let's get the bulkhead over here. Okay. Now it would be swung open like this. There is going to be stuff right here. If you notice, there's a partition coming up like this. It's not this one here. And sorry about this. It's kind of awkward for me to pick stuff up with my arthritic fingers here. Okay, it's not this one here. This one here actually is this one right here. I suppose what we could do is we could go ahead and glue these pieces together. Okay, this has to be fastened something like, yeah, something like this at a right angle. We could go ahead and do that now because it's going to be, both of these pieces have to be painted the brown. Okay. I'm starting to think out loud here, and I'm probably annoying people. Okay, bottom line is I am not going to mount the hatch in the open position, even though it's a good idea. It might look good in some instances, but I don't think it would look good in this instance. Now, it just happened to stick there like that. I mean, what are the odds? What are the odds? Okay. Okay. Yeah, small things amuse small minds. Okay, let's carry on here. We do have our pieces CA glued on the bottom the same way we did the other in the time lapse. Wasn't that time lapse neat? Yeah, you could see it crystallizing all the way up the pole, so to speak. Oh my goodness. Let's move on here. Now, one of the viewers in a comment that I just saw this morning, and I haven't answered it now, so maybe I'll just answer it live on camera. Is this motor out of an electric toothbrush? And the answer to that is no. I think this came a package of 3 or 4. I got them at a place called Radio Shack here in Winnipeg. They're no longer in existence under the name Radio Shack. But yeah, I think you can still buy these little motors on Amazon. And it's just a little toy motor. Anyway, now I don't need to answer that question. Unless maybe I put a link to where you can get them. And it does a good job of getting the sludge out of the bottom. Trying to hold it so both the camera and I can see it at the same time. It's not working too good here. I could maybe try and hold it like this. Oh, my hand's gonna get in the way then. I should have had the camera coming in from the other side. This'll do. This should work. Okay, let's not get it too thick here. I just thought I did not check the color guide. It could be that these things are supposed to be red. I better just stop right now. We got we got everything that needs to have decals painted, so I better just stop and check and find out what these are supposed to be. And the face of the clock would probably be white. At least that's my thinking. This fire extinguisher is definitely going to be red. Yeah, let's just close things up and clean up my brush here. Okay, I have checked. And these pieces here, they are not red. It looks to me like they're gray, just like this. No particular color, and as near as I could tell, there was no call out for them. I know that the fire extinguisher, the bottom part, is going to be red. I painted the handle just now, the gray, with the 87. These are all painted the 87. Oh, the clock dial, the decal is white, so it doesn't matter what color you paint the dial of the clock, it's going to be white anyway. I don't think it's a see-through white, but okay. Yeah, we'll just have to wait for these to dry now. They're still just a little bit, I don't know if there's anything to the fact that, they say that paint will cure as well as dry. Like it might be dry, but it's not cured. I don't know if that holds true to acrylic paint or not, but maybe it does. Yeah, I'm noticing I could have maybe done a little better on that one. I'm seeing sort of like a little light spot there in that one corner, upper right hand side there, but maybe that'll be alright. That'll be alright. We'll let this dry. We're gonna have to do our decals tomorrow, folks. Yeah, what do we got here? 1:41 already in the afternoon. I want to call her quits. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're gonna see you tomorrow.